Aloha, welcome to TMDR, the Maui Daily Report for Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. I'm Chivo Cheng Johnson. In breaking news, a massive earthquake has struck the Aleutian Islands off Alaska, and a giant 54-foot tsunami is on its way to Hawaii. It's expected to arrive on our shores in 4.5 hours. Emergency officials are advising Maui residents to move away from the ocean. Okay, stop. That's not true. It's just a bad April Fool's joke. But it did happen for real on April 1st of 1946. There were just not enough early warning systems in place so that people could avoid the disaster. Now, on that day, the Alaska quake triggered a tidal wave that smashed into the Aloha State and killed 153 people, injured 163 more, and destroyed or damaged more than 1,400 buildings. The Maui Emergency Management Agency says while there is no tsunami season, it could happen again at any time, which is a good reason to attend the Emergency Preparedness Expo at QKC on Saturday, April 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Visit tsunami.com for all of those details. As it happens, a 7.0 earthquake hit near Tonga just yesterday, causing minor damage and some evacuations, but thankfully no tsunami. We recently showed you this next segment, but being prepared is very important. Here's a recent update on tsunami preparedness.
There used to be a school down on Lahaina Point, which is right down at sea level. In that tsunami, 20 children and 4 teachers were killed by the tsunami. It's especially tragic because nobody understood what they were seeing. The first wave was just gentle flooding, and then the ocean receded. People went out on the receding ocean. And it wasn't until the third wave came along, which was half an hour after the first wave, that anybody died. So if anyone had understood what they were looking at, they could have just walked away from the ocean and nobody would have died. The most damaging tsunamis come from big subduction zone earthquakes. Those are earthquakes that occur where the ocean is sliding down underneath the edge of the continent. The overriding plate, the continent gets deformed more and more and more, and eventually it can't take it anymore, and it breaks and releases, and that's the earthquake. So you're changing the shape of the ocean bottom over a huge area of the seafloor in just a few minutes, faster than the water can flow out of the way. The seafloor lifts up the ocean, and you get a lump of excess water at the sea surface, and that lump collapses in it, and that produces waves. The waves attack the nearby shoreline, but they also spread out across the ocean to us in Hawaii. And it's not just one wave, it's a whole bunch of waves, because the initial lump oscillates. And the waves are a very long distance apart. They may be 100 miles or more from one wave to the next.
Hawaii is right in the middle of the Pacific, so we are surrounded in subduction zones. In 1960, the greatest earthquake ever measured happened in Chile. It took 16 hours for that tsunami to reach Hawaii. In 2011, Japan produced an enormous tsunami which crossed the entire Pacific Ocean. That tsunami took 8 hours to reach Hawaii. Our closest and most dangerous threat is from Alaska, which is 4 to 5 hours. The locally generated tsunami is what keeps me awake at night. The main danger for tsunamigenic events is Hawaii Island. We have a couple of spots on the island of Hawaii that are a specific concern. The first one is down south at Kalapana. And there, the tsunami can arrive in less than 2 minutes if you are that close. And you can watch from the video the travel times. 14 minutes to Hilo, 20 minutes to Kailua Kona, Hana, 25 minutes, Ka'alui, 41 minutes, Honolulu, 46 minutes, and Kauai, 54. You might hear a loud roar or a huge rumble, but the other thing you might hear is complete silence. If the water pulls out, there is no ocean on the shoreline any longer, and you won't hear the waves lapping. Well, what do you feel? you feel it shaking. If the shaking is so strong that it knocks you down, then as soon as you're able to, you need to get to high ground.
It seems that nature is acting up everywhere. Episode 16 of Kilauea's ongoing Maui eruption began around 11 p.m. last night, with lava overflowing from the north vent. Lava levels rose steadily, eventually spilling onto the crater floor. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory reports that past episodes led to major lava fountaining over 1,000 feet high, and similar activity is expected within 24 hours. It's the economy in Hawaii that is really shaking people up. A new report reveals that consumer confidence in the islands is in serious decline. People are worried about finances and shying away from big-ticket purchases like houses and cars. Many people are worried they may not have a job in 6 months. One economic indicator for everyone is the price of eggs. It is not a dime a dozen, but closer to $10 a dozen these days. Avian bird flu on the mainland has scrambled prices, and the price of local and mainland eggs in Hawaii rose significantly in the first quarter of this year. Since January 1st, egg prices rose by 20% for local eggs, while the price of imported mainland eggs rose 30%. A recent University of Hawaii study indicated that Mayor Richard Bissen's plan to convert 7,000 short-term rentals to long-term rentals will have an adverse short-term effect on the fragile Maui economy. If implemented, the plan will contract Maui's economy by about 4%, and it could cause as many as 1,900 job layoffs and a $900 million drop in visitor spending. However, Mayor Bissen released a statement saying that the numbers do not factor in residents' lived experiences or the loss when locals are forced to leave. He did say, however, that the study was a valuable step. As victims injured in the 2023 Maui wildfires begin to line up to receive legal settlements, a big question looms. Will health insurers who paid for their medical care try to lay claim to some of that money? The answer could carry a price tag in the tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars per victim. Trying to claw back settlement money would be controversial, and it remains to be seen which insurers will pursue that strategy. Lahaina residents are invited to the Lahaina community meeting at 5:30 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, April 2nd, at Lahaina Intermediate School cafeteria. The meeting will cover updates from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, debris transfer plans from Olowalu to Central Maui, and Hawaiian Electric's restoration efforts. Residents will also hear about a proposed neighborhood watch program and community feedback on the Community Development Block Grant funding from the Office of Recovery. The meeting will be carried live on Akaku Channel 53 and streamed to County of Maui Facebook page. Keeping Lahaina lands in Lahaina hands is the mantra of the Lahaina Community Land Trust, and Maui United Way has invested $1.5 million to help the Land Trust protect Lahaina's lands for future generations. The funding supports efforts to keep land in the hands of local residents and preserve affordable housing, cultural spaces, and ecosystems. The initiative also promotes economic development aligned with Lahaina's history and values. When it comes to keeping public lands public, yesterday we reported a story about opening up a historic trail to the summit of Haleakala from the top of Olinda Road. State land officials have asked Maui Circuit Court Judge Peter Cahill to broaden his March 18th ruling on the trail to include the use of motor vehicles for certain purposes and projects. The Department of Land and Natural Resources has asked the court to change the injunction, saying the court order limits the use of the trail by preventing their vehicles from driving the route, restrains firefighters from access to the area above Olinda Road in the event of a wildfire, and it affects efforts to control invasive species while maintaining critical watersheds. Leave the kids alone. Child abuse is a serious issue in Hawaii, with 4,269 children reported and 788 confirmed victims in 2023 alone. Infants under 1 year of age and Native Hawaiian children are the most affected. Parents are responsible in nearly 88% of cases. Abuse types include threats, neglect, physical, sexual abuse, and sex trafficking. Many abusers face substance abuse, mental health issues, and a history of family violence. Cases are often underreported and hard to prove. Now, April is also Sexual Abuse Awareness Month, and here is some community action from Molokai.
Aloha, I'm Talia Cardenas, and I'm with MCAT. And every Wednesday, we come out to do sign waving for Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
On that note, officials say that better tracking, outreach, and community action are urgently needed. More of what we just saw. Nearly 1 in 3 children in Hawaii go hungry, with some going entire days without eating. But Project Keiki returns this month to Foodland stores across the state to support Hawaii's food banks in fighting child hunger. The initiative helps feed keiki who lose access to school meals during weekends and school breaks. Beneficiaries include Hawaii Food Bank, the Maui Food Bank, and others. Now, from April 1st through April 30th, customers can donate at any Foodland, Sack and Save, or Foodland Farms location. Now, you can smoke them if you can get them, but it is going to cost you. An increase in the cigarette tax is moving in the state legislature, and if approved, this sin tax will jump from 16 to 18 cents. The extra 2 cents will go to support Hawaii cancer research. The recent FX drama Shogun won several Emmy Awards and widespread acclaim for Maui showrunners Rachel Kondo and Justin Marks. But the star of the original Shogun TV series, longtime Hawaii resident and legendary actor Richard Chamberlain, has died only 1 day before his 91st birthday. Chamberlain also starred in one of the first medical soaps on television as Dr. Kildare. This is a whale of a tale, and it's no April Fool's joke. A whale species known as blackfish was spotted off Makaha on Oahu on Friday, but the blackfish was pure white. Experts think that it is an extremely rare sighting of an albino pygmy killer whale, the first observation of a true albino whale in Hawaiian waters ever recorded. And that's it for today's Maui Daily Report. Mahalo for joining us, and please keep watching Akaku channels 53, 54, and 55. You can watch Akaku at akaku.org or on your phone 24/7 with our app Maui Stream. This is how we stay connected. I'm Chivo Ching Johnson. Enjoy your Tuesday night. Be happy, stay healthy, and keep smiling. Aloha.
Here they are.